Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming. Today we take a look at possible deck combination. So we're looking at my main combination, and this is a combination that uses cards which I've spoke about on many occasions. We're using the MVP of the deck, which is Odd One Gorilla. This one needs no introduction for those of you who have been in the game for some time. However, for people who are new to the game, this card does a nuke damage after the main attack, and it does exactly 100% of the main attack, and that's multiplied by five times if you've used 3 keys. So what it does, it creates 2 Earth Power Gem 4s and 3 Earth Power Gem 2s. It receives a bonus attack buff for 1 turn. While bonus attack buff is active, this hero will strike an additional time on the next attack, this turn dealing 100% damage of the main attack. It's got a 2-turn cooldown, 6 gem charge rate, and every 4 turn it will also create 2 Earth Power Gem 2s, and it will dispel 1 buff from the enemy. This card is quite useful. It's one of the best utility cards in the game. We're gonna look at another set of really good utility cards as we go through the other combinations. Now this one is a Jailer, another brilliant utility card. The Jailer actually increases the enemy turn count, and while it's done that, it kicks in its passive. The passive, whenever enemy is delayed, it increases Arcane Killer attack by 1200% for 1 turn. So that's a passive, and it's got a second passive where instead of dying you revive, and when you revive you increase the enemy turn count by 1. Now if you die at the same time when your battle skill is ready, you can activate the battle skill of this card and you'll get 2 delay, which will actually stack the passive twice. We're using Defiant Duet. Defiant Duet is a turn delay card. It puts something on itself called a Swarm Buff, and when Swarm Buff is active, if a turn delay battle skill is used, it will create extra power gem, create 2 extra power gem. It also does a turn delay, so it works quite well with the Jailers. This is Rampaging Royalty. It needs no introduction. It is the ultimate form for this event. We all know what it does. It cleanses 1 enemy debuff from a Slayer card. It also cleanses 1 buff from the boss. It's got 3 turn cooldown, 9 gem charge rate. It's got 2 passive on it. Once per turn, when an enemy buff or debuff is successfully tongue twister. When an enemy debuff or enemy's buff is successfully removed or prevented, it will create 6 power gem 5s. It will also increase its own attack by 80% for 3 turn. A second passive, it will create 4 Earth Power Gem 4s every single turn. At the beginning of every turn, it will create 4 Power Gem 4s. So that is the combination that I'm using, with the addition of Exalted Champion. Now, Exalted Champion is a commander card. It's a fire card, and it's a very brilliant fire card. What it does, it creates 18 fire power gem 5s over 3 turns, so 6 each turn once you've activated the battle skill. Now this can create fire power gem as long as the battle skill is activated for the entire battle. If you get attacked by the boss as well, it does create 1 extra fire power gem. Now that is there for creation of affinity gems, power gems, to give us buffer and the opportunity to upgrade those gems to power gem of higher level and convert them as well. Now I'm running some really weird and wonderful relics. I'm running this one, which is from the Usurpers of Fortune deck. It's a Noble Killer relic. All it's there for is to break 3 Noble Shield. That's what it's there for. This one is also a Noble Killer relic. It breaks 1 Noble Shield. It's from the current event, Festive Blade. This one, Molten Tomb, It is for my fire card, which is Exalted Champions, and I've got 3 copies of that, including the ultimate one. This is for my earth bosses. So this week we've not only got water bosses, we've got bosses of all 5 affinity. This is because this week we're showcasing cards that's based on a movie that's on Netflix. Just looked it up today. I'm gonna start watching it and see what it's about. And these cards are from different affinities. So you've got your light, you've got your dark, you've got your earth, you've got your fire, and you've got your water. To get these bosses out the way, you have to create decks for these cards. So this one is for the earth boss, and it uses the current ultimate form, Rampaging Royalty. It uses a Clandestine Clan, Blitzkrieg Beast. This is going to be my main damage dealer. Perceptive Guru. This one is going to increase my Immortal Killer's attack by 1200% when it gets attacked, and this lasts for 1 turn. This is our performance unit area, needs no introduction. Another brilliant utility card that we've got in the game. It becomes immune and it increases Immortal Killer's attack when it gets attacked. Now the next one that I'm using for my light is this one. It uses Usurpers of Fortune. This is the one that I showed you the relic for earlier. That is to give me the killer skill or the killer bonus. This is my main damage dealer, Freedom Fighter. It's just like the Hard-Worn Gorillas. Another brilliant utility card. This one, Rampaging Royalty, is for the current event. And I'm using Glorious Golems and High Performance Unit area, which needs no introduction as well. Now this combination is for fire. Now it is using Combat Ready Crew to get the killer status. This is a noble killer card. I'm using Wave Warrior to get extra water power gems on the board. It's an Immortal Killer card, but it's a commander card, so it won't do a lot of damage. It's primarily there to give us extra power gems on the board. Apex Predator is going to be our main damage dealer, and it will be boosted by none other than our performance unit area. And Glorious Golem is there to give us just extra dark gems on the board. Weird and Wonderful Relics here as well. Again, that one is to break shield and create dark gems on board. I'm running this one. This one is a noble killer relic, but it's only for commander. This is for a commander, so we have to remove this one because this is only if you've got a commander noble killer on board, water noble killer on board. So this one has to be removed. So we need another noble killer relic, so we swap this one out, and we need something, you know what, we'll just use an immortal relic to give us some more water gems on the board, so we can pop up our water cards. And we've got what, we just swap this one around, put that one there. Okay, we don't need a lot of dark gems because as soon as you match 3 dark gems, Glorious Golems and our performance unit area will start to spawn dark power gems passively, so that's quite good. And as you can see, I haven't got any for dark because I haven't been able to put together a light deck for the dark boss. Now I've got my farming deck, and this is my farming deck. It's a passive deck, so each card on the deck is gonna create power gems passively. So you've got Rampaging Royalty, you've got the Master Collection card. It does produce 4 Earth Power Gem 4s passively. It also upgrades 5 Earth Power Gems to 1 rank higher, and I've got 2 copies of that on the board. I'm using Verdant Druid. It will spawn Earth Power Gem passively as well, as long as you've got 1 Earth Power Gem on the board. And the Glorious Golems needs no introduction. it also spawns gems passively, but only thing it's dark gems, and these will actually spawn, upgrade each other, do a lot of wonderful stuff. It's quite brilliant for farming. So let's go into the event and see if we've got any bosses that we can actually use. So we got a Gill Eternal here, and we're gonna use our farming deck on this one. So I'll just use 9 keys, doesn't really matter, 3 keys, 9 keys, it's all good. So there you go, lots of earth gem on the board. I need to match 3 dark to get the golems going, and there we go, dark power gems on the board, earth power gems on the board, and you just basically match or swap, doesn't really matter, and you just keep producing power gems passively, and they'll upgrade themselves as well. So if you activate these two, what they'll do is upgrade power gems on the board, you swap those power gems, and you'll do quite a bit of damage. There you go, quite a bang for your buck. Not really powerful, but it's kind of fun to play. It's quite quick when you're going up against like smaller guild bosses. Let's see if we can find a boss that's got quite high health, so we can actually showcase the main deck against. So here, so there is some of the, so that's the fire, that's the dark, that's the light. Let's go up against the light. So we're gonna look for our light deck. There's our light deck. Use 3 keys. There we go. So we're gonna make a match. First and foremost, you have to wait until you're going to be hit by the boss to activate high performance unit areas battle skill. You have to make certain of that. Now we get hit, what we're going to do is activate all the other cards on the board. Then we're going to swap the 2 biggest one that we can find. That wasn't a massive damage, but it does chip away at the boss. It can do massive damage, so we can't activate high performance unit areas battle skill as yet. We activate it this turn because we're gonna be hit the next turn. Alright, so not really what I wanted to see. So I've used all my gems on the board. Okay, just activate everything. Let's see if that does anything. 55 trillion. So it's not really working out the way how I actually planned. It's not actually working out exactly how I planned, but it is a combination that works really, really well. Just isn't working out the way I expected it to, which is quite typical when you're actually recording. Things never really go the way that you expect it to. Let's try a second attack and see if we can actually get things to work the way we want it to work. So you pull up all your cards, wait until you're going to be hit the next turn, then you activate your high performance unit area. Okay, then you activate all the other cards. Okay, we got a big one here, so we're going to swap that one. And let's see the damage output for the freedom fighters. That's much better, 113 trillion, and then the nuke damage takes the boss out. So that one actually works quite well. The other bosses are dead. Let's take this one on. It's a Carillion boss, so we're going to use our main deck. This is our main deck, and what you want to do with this one, first and foremost, try and power up your exalted champions first, because you're going to produce a bit of earth gems passively. You will basically overwrite most of the fire gems from there on in, unless the battle skill for exalted champion has been activated and it's creating fire gems passively. So here we go, we're gonna pop all the other cards, and what I want to do is get my fire gem production going. So my fire gem production is actually going. We're hit by blind, and what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna activate the battle skill for the current ultimate form, but I'm going to activate it last so it can create its gems. There you go. Then I'm gonna swap that. 124 trillion for odd one gorillas. Was expecting a bit more, however there wasn't a lot of high value earth gems on the board. So now is where we actually have to work. So we have to work very hard, because we're gonna have a problem with time. Time is gonna become an issue, because the jailers have got a 6-turn cooldown. So we're down to 3. Okay, so it's gonna be ready on the next turn. Let's hope we can produce far more. Okay, so we did something wrong there. However, let's hope it worked in our favor. Let's see if it worked in our favor. 375 trillion, that's not too bad. That's gonna be multiplied by 5, giving us 1.5 quadrillion on the nuke, and that gave us the MVP. So that deck actually works quite well. So that's the main deck. So you've seen the farming deck in action, you've seen the dark deck in action, you've seen my main deck in action. This one is the one that's quite difficult. This is the dark boss. You can tell it's the dark boss because it's got the health bar is purple, which indicates that it is a dark boss. Water boss have got blue, earth boss have got green. Ooh, and we got eternal Drake, and this one is an inferno boss. We're gonna try and take it out. Let's see if we can do much better than we done just now. Let's see if we can take it out in one hit rather than waiting 6 turns after our first attack to take it out. So again, we're gonna power up our exalted champions first. Get their battle skill going to give us those lovely fire gems on the board. Then we're gonna try and power up the battle skills for all the other cards. Gonna wait until we got some nice spread of gems, which is quite good. You want to activate Defiant Duet first, and then you activate all the other battle skills. So you've got the swarm buff active. So we got quite lovely gems on the board. Let's see the damage, 347 trillion, and then the nuke damage will take the boss out. Now this deck can deal quite high damage. The highest I've ever dealt, I've dealt 1 quadrillion from Odd One Girl is, and you can tell what that's gonna be. So this one, let's see if we can take this one out. So it's a quite powerful deck. It's quite easy to play. The only pitfall to the deck is that the jailers have got quite a long cooldown, so it can be a deck that wastes a lot of time. However, it's quite powerful, so it does make up for that. It's a combination that if you've got the cards, you can put it together. It's quite easy to play, and it's a deck that I believe that will do really, really well within the event. So if you've got the cards, try out this deck. It's a really good combination. I will actually scroll through the other decks as well, so you can see those decks. So if you've got the cards, you can create those decks. Okay, so we've been hit by poison, which is quite lovely. You'll be asking yourself why it's quite lovely. However, none of my Slayer cards was hit by poison, which is quite unfortunate, because if one of my Slayer cards, my hurt Slayer cards, is hit by poison, then so it's avoid hitting any of my Earth Slayer cards with poison. We could actually benefit from the skill of the ultimate form. So let's see. Oh, that's 9. Okay, let's swap these two. Oh my word, I waited too long. And but 340 trillion, but the nuke damage will take the boss out, and that's what I'm saying. You can't mess around, you can't waste time, because there you go, I've actually messed it up. I could have taken that boss out in one hit with the nuke damage, but because I'm talking, I actually wasted time. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a look at a few more attacks using my main deck, but these are just some of the combinations that you can put together for the other bosses, the light bosses, water, earth. This one is for the fire bosses, but we're gonna stick with the main deck for now, because the main deck is, I think the main deck is really, really, really good. So if you've got these cards, you can put together this deck. It works really well, and it will help you to finish quite high on the solar leaderboard for this event. So hope this information actually helps. So this is a second attack, and we are going up against the deep, and we're gonna see what we can actually do against this boss. So it's at 106, level 161. Pop our, try and get our fire card pop first. Once we got that one powered up, you can either activate it straight away, because it will keep on producing fire gems, as I said, for 3 turns, so it will pop itself again, and you just allow the master collection card, the current master collection card, to produce gems passively, and away you go. Not a difficult deck to play at all. Really powerful, really enjoyable. I really like this. I really like this combination. However, the current deck, it's kind of a weird and wonderful deck. Quite interesting. Really, really like it. So let's see this boss, group 2. No, that's not the deck that we want. Let's find, yeah, that's our main deck. So we're gonna go up against this boss, and let's see the deck in action one last time. Let's see if we can actually replicate 1 quadrillion damage for hard won gorillas, or something even close. If you allow your cards to generate a lot of, well, it's only 2 cards that will continuously give you power gems on the board. It will be the fire card and the current master collection card. Those 2 cards will give you gems every turn. The fire card, as long as you activate the battle skill, you'll get 6 fire power gem 5s every single turn, and the current ultimate form will give you at least 4 power gem 4s every turn, and you can save as much of those as possible. Plus, Auburn Gorilla does give you power gems every 4 turn as well, which is not too bad. So we just want to see if we can get through the turns for the jailers to become available again. And when it becomes available, hopefully we got a board with lots of wonderful gems like we have here. So we just have to keep going through the turns as quick as possible, because we don't want to run out of time like we did before. And this should be massive damage. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I'll keep fighting the rest of this fight, and you can see the damage on this particular deck. So as usual, guys, enjoy the event. If you're not enjoying the event, that means you're doing something wrong, or it's just going really wrong. You have to try and enjoy the event. So enjoy the event, enjoy the rest of your day. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. If you got any question, leave it below. And this is Octane saying peace, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.